Hi, it's Nick. I'm making this video to show you how I wired my train layout using this diagram. As you can see, I have three transformers. I have a 180 watt transformer controller to operate my lower level. I also have an 80 watt transformer controller to operate my upper level, which I'm in the process of making. My third transformer, which is another 80 watt transformer controller to operate my accessories. I ran a wire from the positive side of the 180 watt transformer and I ran it down around and I ended it right there. I ran another wire from my neutral side of the 180 watt transformer and I ran the wire around and I ended it right there. Now all of the wires that you see are under my layout. How, in this area right here represents the three tracks that I have on my lower level. I have an outer track, I have a middle track, and I have an inner track. And the way that I power these tracks with the 180 watt controller transformer, as you see, I have the wire coming from the positive side of the transformer and I tied a wire right here and I ran it down and I ran a wire into the positive side of the inner track, another wire to the positive side of the middle track, and another wire to the positive side of the outer track. All of the neutrals of the three tracks, they're all tied, as you can see, coming from the outer track, the middle track, and the inner track. And they're all tied into the neutral of the 180 watt transformer. On my 80 watt transformer controller for the upper level, I ran a wire from the positive side of the transformer, as you can see, came down and I ended it right there. The neutral of the 80 watt transformer for my upper level, I ran the neutral to the neutral of the 180 watt transformer. Again, this right here represents my three tracks of my upper level. I have an outer track, a middle track, and an inner track. And again, where I get the power from, the 80 watt transformer, as you can see the wire, the positive side of the transformer, I tied a wire to it and I bring it over to the positive side of the inner track, to the positive side of the middle track, and the positive side to the outer track. Again, all of the neutrals of the upper level track are all tied together. From the outer track, from the inner track, middle track, from the inner track is all tied into the neutral of the 180 watt transformer. On my third transformer, which it's also an 80 watt transformer controller for my accessories, I tied another wire from the positive side of the transformer, and I ran it around, as you can see. The neutral of the 80-watt transformer for my accessories, I ran a wire and I also tied it into the 180-watt transformer. Up here, I have two accessories, a street lamp and an auto crossing gate. And on this area, I have an isolated section track, which I'll explain in detail later. For my street lamp, on the positive side of the street lamp, I ran a wire and I tied it in to the positive side of my 80-watt transformer for the accessories. The neutral side of the street lamp, I ran a wire and I tied it in to the neutral side of a 180-watt transformer. At this time, before I explain the auto crossing gate, I like to explain why I tie all the neutrals together, from the 80-watt transformer for my accessories, the 80-watt transformer for my upper level, and a 180-watt transformer for my lower level. It's recommended that if you're going to use more than one transformer on your layout, to put tie all the neutrals together. As I mentioned, 80-watt, 180-watt, my 80-watt for the upper level, and my 80-watt for my accessories. And in doing this, all three transformers become phased. They're all phased together. And the reason you do this is that you won't have any problems with your accessories. For example, the bulb might be a little dim, or the auto crossing gate might be sluggish in operation. So in doing this, you won't have that problem. I also would recommend to go to www.lionel.com. They have many videos, but they have one particular video which they will explain how phasing works and how to do it. Now I'd like to get back to explain about how I wired my layout through the diagram. The auto crossing gate, I will tie a wire from the positive side of the gate and bring it down and tie it into the positive side of my 80-watt transformer accessory. The neutral from the auto crossing gate, as you can see, I would bring this in and tie it into the isolating section of the isolation track right here. No current will flow to this isolated portion of the track from this neutral side or this neutral side of the track, because it's isolated. There's a right in this area. And that's why they call it an isolated track. Where you will get the power is from the other reel, the neutral reel, which is tied into the neutral of the 180-watt transformer. But because they're all phased, it doesn't make a difference, because they're acting all the same as far as the neutral goes. Now the way this works, your train, when the wheels of the train comes onto this track, and come to this area right here. The neutral power of this rail, the outer rail here, will go through the wheel, through the axle, through the other wheel, which bring current to this wire, and it will energize the auto-crossing gate, and the gate will go down. This auto-crossing gate will be energized as long as you have wheels in this area. When the last wheel of the last car passes this isolated portion and winds up here, it will break the connection. You will have no current going through this as far as the neutral, and it will de-energize the auto-crossing gate, and the gate will go up. I just wanted to explain how I wired my layout. I appreciate you watching it, especially there might be somebody out there that's thinking of making a layout, but especially that they're going to use more than one transformer. I'm going to end this video now. Have a good day. Take care.